From one extreme to the other, big beach cruisers to small portable bikes, 42 pounds, 60-mile range, up to 440-pound riders, certified under the European Union certification, Panasonic batteries. Yeah, let's take a look at this little bike.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
As I mentioned, we've done big beach cruisers. We've done all kinds of crazy sized bikes. We've only done a few small bikes. As far as RVers, when we're out there, we're traveling, you've got a small amount of storage that's available for recreational stuff. Usually all your storage is dedicated, especially for full-time RVers, to stuff that you need on the road or stuff to help you support your lifestyle on the road. And usually one of them's not a bicycle, so you end up getting a rack that goes on the back of your RV. Then your bikes are subject to weather and thieves and whatever else may come around, especially backing into areas or people backing into you. This is something that is so small, you should be able to find a spot for it. But it doesn't mean it's small in what it can do. So this is the Mihogo Mini Pro. And let me tell you, at the time of filming, right now, you could buy 2 of these for less than $900. 2 of them. So first, let me tell you a little bit about Mihogo. If you guys remember, I just did a release on a Mihogo bike about 4 months ago. And it was a brand new folding bike. It was a magnesium bike. And boy, did I have a ton of comments on that one. It was really cool. The thing is a bright color. It's a shiny coat on it. It's just got a good paint job. It was very lightweight for its size. Good power, good ride. It was a really good offering for their first folding bike. Now, this company was basically founded in 2016 in California, and they're trying to put together some really good, unique bikes that break the mold from what we normally see out there. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and open this up and get this thing out. So here's what it looks like once you get all the packaging off, minus some of the taillight feature plastic here. Yeah, you have a taillight here. I don't know if this is a lighted or a reflector, but you do have a light here. That's nice. The handlebars, the post is folded down. The chain, I do need to tighten the chain. There's a tensioner on the back. You just loosen the locking nuts for the axle, move it back, get the chain tight, because it is a single speed. You know, something this small, you don't really need a derailer with different gears. Now, they refer to this having 5 gears. It's actually just 5 motor speeds. But again, of course, the pedals are functional. So these are the accessories or some of the parts to put it together. Of course, your front wheel and tire, you'll assemble that. I'll show you the mounting stuff here in a second. This is kind of cool. This is a center bag. They call it a shopping bag, but it's a storage bag that hangs off the middle of the frame. Your seat post, pretty obvious there what that is. This is the front fender with a mud flap, and they are metal, so that's nice. There's a seat pad here. I don't have the rack option. And yes, they make a rack option. I don't know if the seat pad goes on that, but they have a child seat that mounts to the back. There is a place for foot pegs. I'll show you those in a second. But not so much popular here in the US, but I see this in other countries a lot. That's where the seat pad goes, for your child to sit. Again, it's not popular in the US here, but maybe there's something to it that we're not aware of. I love the way the bike looks, but we'll talk about that once it's completely assembled. Also, you can see there's a couple of bosses here, again, for foot pegs, for the child that's sitting here. Or there's foot peg mounts back here also. Very, very unique. I'm surprised, but you got to remember this holds 440 pounds. It's made of an alloy, a high-strength moly alloy that's much stronger than what normal aluminum is, aluminum alloys. All right, so now you have a tool kit, pretty traditional. Looks like you have a tire repair kit also. This looks like rubber cement. They looks like some patches. These are tire spoons to help you get the tires off, to pry it off. And then, of course, your manual. It does have an app, which is really cool. This is the front axle, and they have these pieces of rubber on here, and it's basically to show you how it's supposed to go onto your bike. And you have a small spacer on one side, a large spacer on the other. Just make sure that the orientation is correct, and it actually refers to it right away on the fourth page of the manual on which spacer goes where compared to the disc brake. And in this case, it looks like the small spacer, from what I can tell here, goes to the disc brake. Now this piece here is flipped the wrong way. These are to be pointed in like this one is. But anyways, just read through the manual. Looks like that they're on the ball there. That'd be kind of cool to mess with that. Traditional pedals. Here's some, again, the foot pegs. These are the foot pegs. You got your headlight, pretty traditional. And then your charger for the battery. You know, I haven't talked much about the battery, nor do I know much about it as far as the charger goes. Let's see here. 2 amp charger. That's traditional. We see that a lot. So what about the battery? Well, there's not a lot of information available as of right now as far as press. They say that it has the ability to do up to 1,200 cycles as far as discharging and recharging. And they do say that it is a Panasonic battery that's in here. It's a semi-solid state. Got a locking post. Of course, here's the keys for that. Let me see if I can reach this. Yeah, let's see what this looks like here. You can see if you turn your key counterclockwise, the battery will come out. I don't know if there's any information in this. Let's see here. Wow, 16 amp hour. Okay. 48 volt, 16 amp hour. That's pretty darn good for this small of a bike. It's a 350 watt brushless motor. So it should be really quiet, which is really nice. We'll go ahead and lock that back in place. Leave the keys there for now. And it looks like that you have a plug that you actually plug the battery into. So you'll be able to take this out of the bike and charge it, or of course you can charge it on the bike using that port right there. All right, I've talked about this enough. I want to see this thing put together. Normally I don't show you much of the assembly process unless the manufacturer specifically wants me to show an assembly. In this case they don't. But I do want to point this out because this is important that you get this right. Of course, your disc brake has to go into your caliper. But as far as the spacing, the small spacer, as indicated in the manual, goes on the disc brake side in between the wheel, the bearing of the wheel actually, and the fork, the mount, the part that the bolt actually goes into. And then on the other side, of course, it's going to be the big spacer. And then the washers that have what I'll call tangs on them, those tangs have little holes. They have homes that they go into. And it's kind of hard to see, but basically right here. And of course, then you're going to tighten it, not over tighten it, make sure that the wheel spins freely. But I like the way that this is coming together. Well, here it is all together. Man, this thing was fun. I rode it around a little bit here. We'll get some footage of my big butt on there. I'm 6 foot, 270 pounds, and this thing threw me around pretty good. I was impressed with the fact that it just didn't fold up on me. It says it holds 440 pounds. Now in the configuration that I have here, I did put the bag on there, the shopping bag, and then the seat pad I just put on as a lid for the shopping bag basically. Everything's inside there, the charger and the toolkit, all that. Even though I'm not oversized as far as height, weight I am, I'd like to ride it in the lowest position. But this thing can accommodate like 4'9" all the way up to 6'9". So not only can the handlebars go up, but also the seat. So you can, at that point, adjust it to where your legs are actually comfortable. Now, I went ahead and put the post on here. You can see the foot pegs. And that, again, would be for like a child rider. But one of the features I wanted to show you is whenever it folds up, you do have folding pedals to give you a little bit more of a narrow setup. And this only weighs 41 pounds. I like the setup. I think it's pretty cool. The display is nice. And as far as getting into the menu, it's just a short press. You can go through here and change all these settings. For the most part, you don't want to change all of them. It's nice that you can read it. Again, there's 5 different settings there. The headlight's nothing more than a push on the plus button. Now you can change the brightness on this. It always dims when you have the headlight on though. The brightness of the brake light or the tail light's pretty good. It's not bad. It's here. It's noon here. It's why the church bell's going off. And then the headlight itself, I mean, we're in the brightness of the day. It's pretty good. You can see pretty well. Yeah, this is a lot better than I expected. Get a little bell there. Get people out of your way, which they don't have to move very far to get out of your way on this thing. But it has fenders. It has good disc brakes. The brakes are incredible. And I don't know. I think that there's a place for this for people who want to transport inside an RV. The best part about it is this is one of the easiest ones as far as folding down. Like in this case, I've just folded up the foot pegs. Then you're just going to remove the safety lock or just move it out of the way. Then this flips down like so. And then you just put your handlebars down and put them in that manner if you wish. You know, you could pull your handlebars out completely if you'd like. You just flip the lever to release them. And then pull the handlebars out, set them off to the side. It's definitely more compact than some of the folding bikes because you can lay these any way that you want, and you just have to deal with the overall length of the bike at this point. So about 25 inches overall height is what's needed. So if you have a pass-through that has a door that might be a smaller opening, you can tilt the bike on its side, put it in. Once you've got it inside the pass-through, you could stand it back up again, just as long as you have about, like I said, 25, maybe 26 inches in height. You could just lay it on the side. I do have those foot pegs in there, so they stand off a little bit, but actually that's probably pretty close to the width. The pedals are folded in, and again, you can move the handlebar. It doesn't have to be here. It can lay off to the side. And the fact that if you want a little bit shorter, you can actually take out the bag, the shopping bag, and that post will actually fold down in between the frame even more. As far as if I wanted to commute with this versus a scooter, yeah, I'd rather do this. It's just, you know, you can get further, and I like scooters. It's just, this is definitely a good replacement. And maybe you don't need a full set. Maybe you just want something to take the trash to the other side of the park because you're at a big park. Maybe you want to run up to the on-site restaurant and not have to walk back or take your vehicle. There's nothing wrong with having an e-bike. There's nothing wrong with having an e-bike you don't pedal. Again, with the adjustability of the handlebars and the seat, though, you can pedal this just fine. And as far as speed, I don't think that this thing's going to be no speed demon. Howdy. So what do you think about that?
This is another campground
That's what I said too.
bike. It's not bad.
It's because we're used to full size
Right.
bikes.
I
But
think that,
portability wise, you know, the handlebars go down
yeah, definitely.
and the storage underneath.
Vero Beach.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely for our Southgate Village
Yeah.
RV park that we were at. That'd be perfect. Go to all the grocery stores.
Yeah.
The headlights way brighter than I expected. All right.
Looks like there's a basket that you can.
Yes.
on the back.
Oh no. They even have a child seat goes on the back.
Oh my gosh.
It's custom made just for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was very awesome.
So either your kid can ride up front and use the foot pegs here, which isn't real popular in the U.S.,
Right.
or you can put the carrier seat, child seat in the back. So not a speed demon. Not a speed demon by any means. I think the top I saw was 16 miles an hour. I am a heavy person. I'm 270 pounds. But the fact that it can hold 440, you may get the same result there. I really don't know, tell you the truth, what you may run into as far as your size. But for how small this is, the ride wasn't bad. I would probably upgrade the seat to something else. I usually upgrade the seat on almost all of our e-bikes anyways. So yeah, that'd probably be a good idea. But the overall, feel of the bike, it does exactly what it's designed to do, and that is be small, portable, and attract bees, apparently. But it's easily to be able to fold up and put away. Good bike for in the park to commute around. Not a speed demon. I think this is probably for a lot of people that we have talked to that have had e-bikes in the past. You would be amazed how many people are afraid of their bikes. They're afraid it's going to take off on them. They're afraid they're going to fall off. You can just step off this one. I mean, this one, to fall off of it, you really have to fall off of it. It really, it's so small in its size that you just put your feet down and that's it. Walk away from it. So again, the links will be down below for this. So this is the Mihogo Mini Pro. And while supplies last, you might be able to get this thing pretty cheap. Again, using the Indiegogo super early bird promotion codes. Appreciate it. As always, guys, we hope to see you out there. Bye.